Yeah, I'm gonna fire away, man. I want to get into it. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I definitely want to thank you for doing this, man. Like you've been really, I want to kind of not get too deep, but you've been on a little bit of a journey. You know what I mean? It's been a minute. You know what I mean? And the music is really taking off now. And it's like sometimes timing doesn't just happen overnight. You know what I mean? And I think you have a story and a journey that people deserve to hear. But like before we even get into anything, like just tell the people, man, a little bit about where you from. You know what I mean? And maybe how you got started doing music.
Well, I want to say, I'm based out of Hayward, California. That's really where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Most of my life. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I used to stay in like Oakland, all that when my family was kind of moving around because you know what I'm saying, times were a little rough back then. But I want to say I started doing music really since I was a little boy, like
Mm,
fourth grade, because my pops was already doing music. So seeing him do music already kind of made me feel like I like this. Like you know what I'm saying? Like always
yeah.
playing like music around me. I just be like, damn, like I feel like I could be one of the persons to write these songs or like, you know what I'm saying, get in
Mm-hmm.
the studio and do my thing. So I want to say fourth grade, but I started taking it serious like my junior year of high school. That's when I first
Yeah.
like dropped my first song. All that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like definitely that's crazy that it's like a lifetime passion. You know what I mean? On top of like all the music that you've dropped the last few years, like to really have it in you. You know what I mean? To like want to do this. Some people just, it's hip hop. People just jump in, kind of quick in, quick out. You know, but so like
Yeah, yeah,
you
for
really
sure.
are for lifer. You know what I mean? Like you're really in
Yeah,
this. It's crazy. Like I really dig that passion. You know what I mean? And it's
oh,
like
definitely.
where did like the vibe like come into? Like I'm sure you have a wide range of influences, but like kind of where did this signature sound of yours come from? Like how did you develop like kind of like the style of the way you like attack the vocals on the track?
To be honest, I feel like I always knew like I like to sing a lot. So like I never when I was coming up, I never really was like rapping too much. I
Mm,
would love like singing songs and everything because I like fell in love with melodies and all that like a super young age. Like certain like ways you could sing on a beat or like how your voice could complement a beat. I feel like I always took that into account when listening to songs. So I used to be like, I could hear little things in songs that I might not hear artists do or something. I'd be like,
yeah.
ooh, that would be good right there, like this and that. So I feel like being able to sing kind of made it a little easier for me. So I knew I wanted to kind of step into that lane when it came to like the music instead of just being like a rapper.
Yeah, and your ear for the tracks, like kind of like you said, the way that you figured out how to blend vocals in, it's like kind of almost is more than just like an artist. It's like you have almost like an A&R's ear, like you know what,
Yeah.
like a good artist would be able to hop on any beat, you know what I mean? But it's like
Oh, really?
the right song sometimes really does need the right beat, the right vibe, and
Most
and
definitely.
I definitely respect your ear for putting these songs together because a lot of people's just in freestyle mode, but it's clear that you like do this music thing and you're writing and maybe you just talk real quickly how that process goes. Like if you're writing songs constantly, or do you wait to hear a beat first? Like how's that process go?
I definitely be going like beat surfing, like, cause a lot of people be sending me packs like all the time, like to my email, like you know what I'm saying. So I usually go through those, but if not, YouTube is really where I found most of my beats. Like searching in like type beats, like you would look up like a Drake type beat or like a
Mm-hmm.
Meek Mill type beat, and then I would just catch the vibe, like with whatever I heard in that beat. Like I already know what kind of song I would want to make it, whether it was like a pain song or if it was like a
Mm-hmm.
love song, heartbreak song. I can kind of gauge it just based off listening to the beat. So like 10 seconds, because I feel like I already know, like I can hear the beat and know if I'm gonna like it or not. Like 10 seconds in, like you know what I mean. I don't
Oh,
have to listen to the
for
whole
me,
thing.
sometimes it might be the first 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
No,
I know
yeah.
off rip because a lot of times with artists it comes down to the right key, the right BPM. Like if I play you 100 beats, you might pick 10 that are like probably I hear like you have like a style and the way you pick beats, like they all fit together, and that definitely
Yeah,
takes like talent. I don't know, maybe I don't know where that came. I don't know where that came from, but it definitely seems like you have a keen ear for putting these songs on the right beats. That's for
it's
sure.
the ear. You
Now, how
know
would
what
you
I'm
like describe it? Like, if somebody never heard your music before, how would you describe it to them? Because it's definitely like, it to me, it's versatile. Like, you have a range, but maybe in your own words, like, what would you tell somebody your music sounded like?
If I was to describe to somebody about my sound, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'd say real. Like,
No, but I'll
could you say
jump
it
in
one
and
more
I'll say
time?
it's definitely authentic, and not just
That's
to
what I'm
you,
saying.
not just to you as an artist, but even to where you're from, to the Bay Area. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
definitely there's a vibe that I feel like only artists from the Bay have, and it's like you have that, whatever that is.
I'm saying I feel like I always keep a piece of it with me. It's just I use it in my own way because I know people think that the Bay Area has a specific type of sound like all the time, but I was like I know there's a lot of artists out here that could probably make the same kind of music or even try to step in the lane that I'm making, but I
Yeah,
feel, but I
and the
still feel
funny,
like the Bay is a great place for music.
yeah, you definitely fit right in there, like in the different like lanes of the sounds that come from there. I mean, I can't imagine what the hard drive is looking like. If you drop singles after singles and then a couple projects already, like what's like a typical studio session look like? Like how do you like go about the recording process?
So typical studios, I usually already have the songs like made, like already written down in my notes and everything.
Mm,
So I don't usually like go in there and like just try to freestyle the song, but I'll probably try to knock out at least like 3 to 5 songs when I go in, like
mm.
just that I have in the notes, so like I can hear them and like think if I need to adjust anything or anything like that. But it's pretty simple for the most part.
Are you practicing like writing for other artists now? Like, are you like trying to like get songs out there? Are you trying to get into the placement game? Like, what's kind of like when you?
I ain't never try to like write for anybody like professionally or like be trying to give like people songs like that. But I feel like I could definitely do it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a couple songs that I might not want to do. Like I feel like somebody else might sing it better or sound better doing it.
Yeah.
So that's something I would definitely think about or consider later on.
But it's like we always talk about the difference between like making music for self and making music for sale, and that balance of how do you stay true to yourself but also like market it at the same time. And the way I feel like that you've been having success is in like rapid fire videos, dropping a video, dropping another video, dropping another video. How important do you think is the visuals comparative to the music in this like climate that we're in right now?
I feel like music videos in this day and age are just like people love them because it's just like you have to have something special. I feel like or unique about your music video a little bit these days because like now you see music videos, it might not even have anything to do with the song, but what's going on in the video is just so crazy. You're like, damn, like this video
Yeah.
goes so through it. But when it becomes like how you said about the sale versus for self, like how I
Mm-hmm.
make my music, I feel like that's kind of the easy part only because like I feel like everybody is the same in certain type of ways. Like when it comes to like everybody goes through heartbreak, everybody like go through pain, everybody like, but it's just like to situation, like you know what I'm saying? Because there's different types of heartbreak. There's, you know what I'm saying? You could have fell off with your girl, and it was nobody's fault. Y'all could have just lost feelings, or you could have cheated, she could have cheated. Like there's so many realms in which you could take it. Like you don't have to just generalize it all in one. And I feel like I try to make use of that as best as I can, so I can really pull on people's heartstrings because it's different when you went through it and you hear
Yeah.
somebody talking about it. Like you feel me?
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Yeah, and some of your new music, it's like you can hear that you went through it. It's no cap. It's like this is really some things that went down, and then now we're singing about it, like and it's out there.
Yeah,
Like
gotta put it in the song. Gotta put it in the song.
it's crazy. It's crazy, and the balance of everything. I don't know, like if there's any way that you find ways of focusing that you could share, like on how to balance the music and the videos, the social media, recording sessions, like how do you balance it all and like keep the lifestyle progressing?
Honestly, I just feel like I just go with the flow.
Mm,
To be honest, it's just like whenever we got to do something, it's just what I got to do. Like,
yeah.
there's no point in like complaining about it. Sometimes I might be tired, like getting up to go to a video or something or all that. But I feel like for the most part, like I just know it's something if I want to do. If I want to do this music thing, I got to make sure I do everything in every aspect. I can't just like, oh, I make the music and then don't handle my business. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because everything matters. So I
Yeah, I
just see it
think
like
a lot of the big key to it is like losing your comfort zone. It's like a
that.
lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings.
Mhm.
And then obviously with the music you do, it's a lot of emotions put involved. I'm sure some of these songs performing is interesting. How's that going? Like, what's the shows like? What you got like a bunch of fans now? Your fan base is
Yeah.
growing. Like, are you going to be touring, doing any shows coming soon? Like, what's the show scene looking like?
I want to say definitely after this album, definitely another show. I got to because my first show, I ain't gonna lie, it actually turned out better than I expected it to be.
Mm,
Like because I was doing it in Berkeley, and I know I got a lot of love out here in the Bay, but like my fan base kind of spread out, so I was like, I don't really know what it's gonna look like, but I ain't gonna lie, people really popped out. People really popped out because
yeah,
I was like, damn, like looking out at all those people, I was like, they really came out here because people was telling me they drove from like Kansas. People told me they flew from like New York, and like they was just telling me like they was really that
yeah,
dedicated to come watch me do my
yeah.
thing. So I ain't gonna lie,
I,
that made me
I
feel.
I see it in your comments. I see it on YouTube. I see it on TikTok. Like I see the way that people are gravitating towards what you're doing. It's like kind
Oh
of been
yeah,
like a snowball effect. Like it's growing and growing and growing. And
and
but like the one thing I do want to hammer home to people is that it's not new. Like you were doing this, even starting to take it seriously even before the pandemic. And it's like not to get too deep, but like what's that like? Like, what was it like for young artists doing music before the pandemic and now recovering and trying to get motion back going again? Like, what's some ways that you stay motivated? I guess it's a better question throughout all this.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, pandemic really sucked because I had a lot of shit going on. Like that was my senior year, so like I didn't even get to enjoy that. So that was kind of tough. So, but I kind of looked at it like I could focus on the music now. Like I don't really got to go to school. I'm home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Occasionally we might be able to slip out during the pandemic to go to the studio, even though we're not supposed to. So it's like, I'd use that as everybody was in the house. So it was kind of like if I start posting my music now, like nobody really got anything to do. So it's like now you gotta kind of like give me a chance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you might find something that, you like. And I feel like I use that to my advantage.
Is that where the Perfect Storm name came from?
No, it's not. It's actually not my parents actually the ones. It was really my mom. She the one that came up with that name because I was telling her like about how I felt about the album and how I felt like I had a lot of mixed emotions throughout the whole thing. And then Perfect Storm came about.
How did you know like it was album time? Like after dropping singles and singles and singles, like how did you know that it was time like to give everybody a project?
I think it got to the point where it was like everybody was asking, and then I'd already had like I feel like 10 singles out maybe, and they were all kind of doing good. So I was just like, I gotta drop a tape.
Yeah.
Like I got like they need it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I had songs I was sitting on, like that was in the vault that I just had in my notes, and I was like, bro, like this will be a fire tape if I actually decided to make them.
Yeah. So. And then basically here we are again, right, with Tough Love, and it's like the same formula, like you rapid fire singles, 4 videos in a row. The last 3, Hard Headed, Find My Way, For Lifers, All Crazy, Polaroid video just dropped. Like I can't imagine like this is still a warm up. Like what's even what's even coming next? Like what do you have in store? Like because it's like right now I feel like you're kind of like I don't know what they call it sports, like you're breaking wind. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely like a trailwind behind your back right now. The jet stream is in your favor. Like what's coming next?
Definitely got more. I definitely got more. That's all I gotta say. I definitely got more. So you know what I'm saying? I got somewhere else I could take it. So
that's yeah, and congrats on the Tough Love album and the release. I mean, it's definitely one hell of a project. Man,
appreciate it.
You definitely make music that's like it's like inspirational, and I can't like not see people feeling good hearing what you're doing, and I really respect the craft. Like, is there any like anything else like with your music that maybe you could like give up, like that you've been experimenting with, and any different sounds, type beats, or maybe any upcoming collaborations?
I feel like what I got next is definitely different. It's different, but it goes crazy type different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all wouldn't probably expect it from me, but it's coming. And I feel like y'all gonna receive it well.
I'm ready. And from the Tough Love project, any more videos, any other visuals, anything else about to drop?
Oh, yep. I got 2 more videos for the album. I got the one that I did with 3 Breezy attached, and then Fallin Again that I did with Tatiana Manaois. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely some heat. So it's like, and I know the way you do the visuals, they really go like perfect track. Definitely looking forward to everything. Like for your journeys, you've been going through it. Like if there's any like advice you've been given or advice that you could give to like young artists or young fans of yours that are trying to get where you're at right now?
I would just want to tell any artist that's trying to, you know what I'm saying, to come up and actually like make an impact with music. I feel like the life part of it is really kind of what makes it hard sometimes. Like you might be going through things, but you just gotta remember like life is always going to go on, like no matter what. Like there's always gonna be something that comes up, there's always gonna be problems, there's always gonna be like, things you weren't expecting, but I feel like you just can't let it deter you from like where you're trying to go. Like it's just something in the way right now that you just got to get over in that moment. Like it's not something that's like, you know what I'm saying, gonna stop you forever. Like you got to feel like you down and depressed and like you can't do it. Like life is always gonna do what it do. So make sure you just do what you do and like figure out a way, you know what I'm saying, to get around it and get to where you need to be at.
Yeah, you definitely doing it. You're a role model right now for like the blueprint of like a way an artist should be moving. Like I definitely respect the grind, that the mix of quality and quantity is like totally on point. You know what I mean? Like it's like you got a lot going, but it's all on point. It's all dope. I don't know if you got any last words or shout outs. I kind of maybe give you the floor if you want to wrap this up.
Yeah, nothing I really want to say except for that last message that I just gave to the artist. Like, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to do something. I really feel like, you know what I'm saying, anything you put your mind to, you can really do it. Like, that's not bullshit. Like, you can really do it, but you just gotta make sure you got mental toughness and be able to, you know what I'm saying, want it as bad as I do, I guess.
Yeah, man. Well, look, we're over here on this side. We're totally tapped into what you got going on. Big fans of everything you're doing. Can't wait for more. Like, man, like definitely thank you so much for doing this today.
Most definitely, I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you, sir.
Peace.